Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. Again, this is going to be a custom duel with the same deck, Animeta. And the reason why I decided to play this deck anyways is to showcase the new monsters that I updated for this archetype on YouTube, as well as my other social media accounts. So maybe that way you guys have a better grasp and understand how the deck works at its full potential. Uzumaki will activate its pendulum scale effect, popping itself, allowing me to set 2 pendulum monsters into the pendulum scale, which right as of now I can immediately be able to pendulum summon, but as a restriction I can only pendulum summon Animeta monsters. And you guys should have better understand how the combo works. I've shown the strategy like at least 3 or 4 times now. This is going to be the 4th time actually, so right now I'm going to pendulum summon 3 Animeta monsters. And Sekai, how good it is, has another crazy effect. If I special summon 2 or more monsters at the same time, I can special summon 1 Animeta monster from my deck with a different name, besides the monsters that I already have in my field. And then I'll special summon Deku. Deku, when normal special summoned, allows me to add an Animeta card from my deck to my hand, except itself. So I'm going to go for Boken, which means adventure, so I'm going to add another Animeta monster from my deck to my hand, which will be Tanjiro. He's definitely one of new cards, as well as Kira that have been debuted in this duel that are about to be introduced with their new effects. Which fortunately Kira won't be able to use effects since I'm going to be putting him into the extra deck face up. Though I will be able to activate Tanjiro's effect if I use him correctly. So you guys have to just simply wait a moment. So this is nice because this is finally the first time you see these 2 new cards. And like I said, it sucks that you don't get to see Kira's effect because his effect is a reference from Death Note. As for Tanjiro, his effect is mainly special summon 2 Animeta monsters with different names, but it's the fact that when I think about it, it's the fact that when Tanjiro is out on his adventure, he's going out with mainly his main companions are most likely Zenitsu and Inosuke, if I'm pronouncing that right. Hope you guys be able to correct me, but either way it doesn't matter. So, but you guys should know what I mean. But most likely I'm just gonna use him for a pendulum summon right now, but because now I get an additional pendulum summon. But he won't be used for a pendulum summon, but he's just gonna be used as a pendulum scale, so I can go into my second pendulum summon thanks to Motoko. But I'm pretty sure eventually I will be able to summon Tanjiro thanks to Kirito's effect. But let's fast forward here. Yeah, pendulum summon 3. And I go into my XC monster, which will most likely be Sasuke. And may as well introduce you guys to him. And I go into a Link 3, since I'm already done with the Motoko's effect. And she's of no use right now. And then, I don't know if I do use Kirito. I could have used Kirito's effect, but I don't want to risk it. Simply because if he managed to get rid of my monsters on my field spell. But let me show you the effect regards since I didn't get to use it. Just read the bottom. So I could manage to show you guys how the effect works, but I don't want to use it for this situation because I don't know my deck. I don't know what deck my opponent is playing. It looks like Naruto, I assume, but they're called Power Neon. And just so that you guys know, there will be a rage quit during my opponent's turn, even though I did not deal any damage to him. You're going to see why, as you can tell by my set trap cards. But obviously I don't tell my opponent what cards I'm playing because it would be a secret and he would pretty much find ways of getting rid of them if I tell him which cards that are face down. So he might as well find out once I activate it. Although the archetype does seem broken, you have to admit that they do have great synergy with each other. And the text does seem like the cards aren't too although the effects are broken, they seem to make a lot of sense. Like they're not very confusing. You just have to have knowledge of Yu-Gi-Oh! You have to understand how the mechanic works in order to be able to just pretty much understand what the card text says. in order to play it for so long that you pretty much know how like the effect would pretty much dictate the duel, especially for someone who has more experience in Yu-Gi-Oh! So for those who are experienced, can pretty much read the cards carefully and grasp what's going on. So as from here on out, he summons the Sandman. I don't even know how he even summoned the card. I'm assuming it's one of his effect monsters in the grave. But who cares since it's going to be negated. And I'm going to banish him with Kaze, which is a simple cost. I banish one of my Animeta pendulums from extra deck face up, and here he decides he'll leave the duel and he rage quits. I know you guys, I was hoping maybe there would be more coming from this duel, but again, I can't help but let my opponent decide to quit the duel because it's his choice, even though I pretty much won the duel, because the moment someone leaves the duel, that means they pretty much forfeit the match, and I automatically win. So, but again, I want to be able to provide you guys some good content, and for those who feel that the card text is confusing, if you find the card text confusing, be sure to ask someone who has experience in the game, and then be able to give you better details. And then maybe if you were to actually play Yu-Gi-Oh! More often, you pretty much have knowledge and a better understanding how the cards work. So that way you don't go back and forth reading the cards, especially if you decide to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And you don't get confused with your opponent, and that they won't call you out for trying to stall the game. And again, that's not something I approve of or anybody does, I'm pretty sure, but this is to share my creativity, share my perspective of the archetype and how it should be played, and that it deserves the compliments considering the effort I put into it, as well as the thought and detail. This was definitely not easy to make. Just so you guys know, you can appreciate if you take the time to look at it. You pretty much can tell like this is not an easy task. That considering I did this by myself, like you wouldn't be surprised. So I didn't get help, but pretty much had to do my research, go through all that, like trying to do the cropping, find the right images, editing, all that back and forth, and that's how I managed to accomplish making this archetype. And again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to expect for more upcoming content in the future. Be sure to check the notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.